The Smartest Giant in Town by Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. This is George. George is very, very big. He's a giant. Look at his clothes. He has old and dirty clothes. He's wearing a gown and sandals. He is sad because he wants new clothes. He wants to look smart and elegant. George went to the shop and he bought clothes, very smart clothes. A smart shirt, a smart pair of trousers, a smart belt, a smart tie, a pair of smart socks, and a pair of smart shoes. This is George. He looks smart now. Look, his old clothes, his old gown and his old sandals, he left them behind the shop. And he said, "Now I am the smartest giant in town." George found a sad giraffe. "What's the matter?" said George. "It's my neck," said the giraffe. "My neck is very long, and I'm cold. I wish I had a scarf, a long scarf." "Cheer up," said George. "I give you my tie. This can be your scarf." "Thank you," said the giraffe. George said, "My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. But look at me up and down. I am the smartest giant in town." George found a goat on a boat. The goat was crying. "What's the matter?" said George. "It's my sail," said the goat. "There was a storm, and my sail broke. I wish I had a new sail for my boat." "Cheer up," said George, and he took his new shirt. He tied it to the mast. "This can be your sail." "Thank you," said the goat. And George said, "My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt in a boat is a sail for a goat. But look at me up and down. I'm the smartest giant in town." George found a family of mice, and the mice were crying. "What's the matter?" said George. "It's our house," said the white mouse. "It burned down. Look at the fire. Now we don't have a house to live. I wish we had a new house." "Cheer up," said George, and he gave her his new shoe. "This can be your house." "Thank you," said the mice family. And George said, "My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt in a boat is a sail for a goat. My shoe is a house for a little white mouse. But look at me up and down. I am the smartest giant in town." George found a fox in a campsite. The fox was crying. "What's the matter?" said George. "It's my sleeping bag. I dropped it in a puddle. Now it's wet. I cannot sleep. I wish I had a dry sleeping bag." "Cheer up," said George, and he gave him his new sock. "This can be your sleeping bag." "Thank you," said the fox. And George said, "My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt in a boat is a sail for a goat. My shoe is a house for a little white mouse. My sock is a bed for a fox. But look at me, up and down. I am the smartest giant in town." George found a dog. The dog was crying. "What's the matter?" said George. "It's this bog," said the dog. "I can't get across the bog. I get stuck in the mud. I wish there was a dry path." "Cheer up," said George, and he gave him his belt. "This can be a path to get across the bog." "Oh, thank you," said the dog. And George said, "My tie is a scarf for a cold giraffe. My shirt in a boat is a sail for a goat. My shoe is a house for a little white mouse. My sock is a bed for a fox. My belt helped a dog to cross the bog. But look at me, up and down. I am the smartest giant in town." But suddenly, oh look, his trousers are falling down. Oh, George has no clothes now. He is cold and sad. He needs to go to the shop to buy more clothes. So George went to the shop, but the shop was closed. Oh no, look, now he's crying. Behind the shop, he saw a bag. What is that? He looked inside the bag. There were all his old clothes, the gown and the sandals. Oh, wow! Now I have clothes again. George is happy and he goes home. When he arrived home, George found all the animals he had helped. They gave him a present. It was a crown and a card. Do you know what the card said? "You gave your scarf to a cold giraffe, your shirts on a boat, as a sail for a goat. Your shoe is a house for a little white mouse. One of your socks is a bed for a fox. Your belt helped a dog who was crossing a bog. So here is a very fine crown to go with the sandals and gown of the kindest giant in town." Vocabulary: shirt, trousers, belt, tie, socks, shoes, gown, sandals, giraffe, goat, mouse, mice, fox, dog, shop, boat, sail, broken, fire, sleeping bag, bog, present, crown, card, crying, happy.